Right. Welcome back, everyone, to Cleaning Business Life. Miss Jamie, long time no see.
Oh, yes, it's weeks and weeks.
Oh, total inside joke. Today,
Yeah.
we're going to talk about holiday boundaries and saying no without losing clients. And we've kind of touched on this topic before in another podcast. I believe it was called, Hey, I can do that for free, or something to that effect. Don't quote me on it. But having established boundaries and being able and being comfortable to say no is huge because a lot of us squirm because we're women, right? Most of us are women and we have a hard time saying no because we're people pleasers. There's guys out there that are like this too, but it's mostly us women. And it's we don't want to disappoint anybody. We just want to make your space sparkle. We want to see the before and afters.
And
We
we
don't want
don't
to say
want,
no.
yeah, and we also don't want to lose clients. And we're afraid that if we say no, we might lose a client. So that's what we're doing is holiday boundaries, saying no without losing the client. Because we're afraid of losing that client if, you know, they keep asking for something. And those are up charges too,
Right.
you know?
And let's be honest, there seems to be more difficult clients out there than ever before. And so not every client is your demographic. And if you have someone who is really high maintenance, and I haven't said this in a while, Dan Kennedy, who's resurfaced, he is the ad copy guru of the 80s and 90s, has made millions of dollars. He's a good old boy. Super duper nice guy. I've met him. He has a reference in his books. I've read almost all of his books, and it's the if it's this analogy, and this is kind of crass, so for you guys that are women, if you don't want to hear this, then plug your ears. This is your chance. If and his mentality is if I wake up 3 mornings in a row and we are not sleeping together, you need to go. And the premise behind that statement is the fact that if someone is taking up that much space in your head and you're not getting anything out of it, it's time for them to go.
Yep. Well, I've heard that. And that was even before, what is it? After 3 days,
Mhm.
your family start, whenever they come to visit, it starts
Right.
smelling like fish or something to that weird effect. I remember hearing that growing up and that same scenario
Applies to clients. So
applies to clients.
and
Yes.
if you're not good at setting boundaries, this might be the season that you do so. And I wouldn't start with a whole bunch of boundaries. Maybe I would do one or two boundaries. Your most important boundary, if you had to prioritize out of all the boundaries, I'm not talking about eating the snacks or going to the bathroom. I'm talking about your schedule. That is your moneymaker. Your schedule and your cleaning techs are the two most important things in your business. You need two separate systems for them to run smoothly. And if you don't have those set up, I would work on that, hashtag goals 2026. But it's important that you protect your schedule because if you're not protecting your schedule, your cleaning techs who are directly related to your schedule, who earn money from you, who make you money, are not going to get the hours they want. And guess what? The next shiny object over the hill is going to be where they go. And you've got $1,200 or more invested in this individual, right? They've hung out and they've done great things. But if you have disruption in your schedule, then it gives disruption to them and their paychecks and they won't hang out. And you want people who want to spend time with you in your business so you can grow it to where you want it to go.
Right. And that also, it's not always about money, but it's also about the flexibility, the,
Peace of
the,
mind.
it is, and the culture and then this is what I'm working on right now as we speak, is my company culture. I know how to grow the business. I've learned how to do all those steps, um, and setting boundaries for not just, you know what? I tell my cleaning techs, oh, just tell the client, oh, you've got to call the office for that.
Blame it on me. Blame it on me.
Yeah, blame it on me or get a hold of me. And usually 9 times out of 10, it'll drop right there because then they know that, oh, that there's
I
only
don't want Jamie
scheduled,
involved. She's going to get mad.
yeah, they're only scheduled for so long.
Right,
And if we do just, the wiping of the dog bowls or the inside of the fridge, it's always a quick wipe down of the fridge, the inside of the fridge. Those are all doing all the fronts because you're getting ready to host a Christmas dinner or a Christmas party and you want all the fronts of your cabinets wiped down. That takes a lot of time, and you're not going to get that detailed of a clean without scheduling a deep clean with me through the office.
right.
I'm the office.
Right. And with kitchen cabinets, you can spot them. That's typically what the standard is
Yeah.
right now. But to physically have to wipe each one without being compensated for it, because it's going to push them back for their second house. So you're thinking about, that too. There's a lot of elements without establishing the boundary. So say no, as we discussed in another podcast, you practice in front of the mirror if you're not comfortable saying no. No, no, no. My kids heard from me all the time. No, no. Mom said no. Do you think that dad will say anything? Do you think he'll say yes? I can hear them discussing it. Like, well, she said no. Let's go see if he'll say it, right? And then
Right.
he'll say, well, what did your mom say, right? It's that
Did
whole
something.
dynamic.
Well, and like,
You think he'll say yes? Do you think? And then you can hear them going back and forth,
or
weighing
you
it
could
out.
do just like me and just wing it when you go in front of a crowd of 150 people and are so nervous you almost drop the mic. But you get better and better each time, and your pitch, because the confidence comes because you know what you're talking about.
It
You,
does.
yeah, and the easier it becomes. So continue practicing that. Little baby steps out of your comfort zone for those hard conversations. And again, I'll say it probably almost every podcast that we do, is Chat GPT is one of the biggest and best tools that we can use right now outside of a booking platform, um, in our businesses, because you can bounce those ideas of be make it pretend that it's the client, or gosh, even my son will I'll bounce it off the he's 11, you guys. And he's so used to it, and he was like, well, what if the client says this? And it
Definitely
throws
going to be
me.
an entrepreneur later.
Yeah, and it's like I just yeah, so you can have practice even with your future entrepreneur who's gonna either take over this company or he's gonna sell it. Whatever he's gonna do with it, he's gonna do with it. I hope takes it further than I can. I already see that happening, but he's also a person that I can bounce ideals off of, whether he's 11 years old or not. I feel like he has a mind, a different mind. I might get some heat for this about, oh, but you're like some child labor law or something. No, no, he knows his mom, which, and same with his dad, my husband. We bounce ideals off of each other. Um, and I'm always telling him now, oh, that sounds ridiculous. This is how I'll do it. And that's where some of my greatest ideas come from, is just and networking like this. It's where the best boundaries that come into my head. And now that if you listen to the podcast before this, last week's podcast, we were talking about, or maybe it was the week before, we were talking about how we can take our phone and throw in a voice clip into our notes, and just that quick, so that we have an brainstorming idea of these ideas that come to us, and about setting these boundaries, especially during the holidays, because clients will push you to your limits, and they will put, if you have cleaners in the field, they will walk all over on them, and you got to protect them. You want to prevent them to get burnt out. I mean,
Well, having strong boundaries, excuse me, I'm losing my voice, improves retention. When your crew sees that you'll stick up for them and that you got their back, that's like because in a lot of places, unfortunately, not everyone's a good employer. I mean, I've worked for dozens of horrible managers, horrible employers. I mean, dozens, dozens and dozens and dozens. Um, so once they see that you're going to catch their back, then because the cleaning techs are your golden unicorns. They are where you generate your income. And that's why I always say that sometimes there's a hierarchy between the office and the cleaning techs. I'm like, you actually are not above, unless you're the office manager, you're actually not above the cleaning techs. They have priority because they're the ones generating revenue. You guys are taking revenue. So, and sometimes that needs to be, a firm straight line. And sometimes they get it, sometimes they don't. Sometimes you have to remind them. But it really does help with retention. And it's not rude, it's professional because then you know what the parameters are, right? When you go to Chick-fil-A, and you order the what was the fancy lemonade that the kids wanted? It was the lemon lime maybe that was Sonic. The lemonade that they only have certain times a year. There's a
oh,
boundary because there's a date,
I
right? The
miss
date
those.
from the beginning of November 1st to November 30th or whatever month it is. That's the only month they have the lemon lime lemonade, right? So, and that's a boundary. So we have boundaries everywhere. And the reason why is so that we know where we can bounce along, what we can do, what we can't do. And when you don't have that one, everyone runs amok. I mean, I'm guilty of giving people a long leash. I'll let you run and run and run and run and run. And then at some point, I'll get tired of whatever it is you're doing. I'll just yank the leash back. I'm like, okay, playtime's over.
Yeah, yeah, no, it can be challenging, but it's something that you work on. You work on being an introvert in this which I don't know if I've ever been an introvert. I think I've always been an extrovert. But you gotta stick up for yourself, and you gotta stick up for your employees if you want to scale.
Right. And policy first matters. So having the policies in place. Like we know that we can't shout fire in the theater. We know that you can't bring a cap gun in a bank and fire it off because people are going to drop to the floor and be mad. There's just certain policy first, right? You have to not wear a mask or a hat when you go to the bank. You certainly can't show up in a Halloween uniform outfit that's fully covered in a bank. They
Been
get
during
upset
Halloween.
about this. A policy, these are policies in place and there's reason for them. So when you start to establish your SOPs, having policies in place, help things run smoothly. You guys have heard me say it 1,000 times. No one likes to run a shift with trial by fire. Everyone wants smooth running shifts. They want to just show up, do their thing, leave, go to the next house. But when you have trial by fire, people are like, I don't know, Shannon's pretty like it's rough, right? I don't know if I
Right,
can do this
right,
day after
right,
day. It's just like Groundhog Day.
right. And what's great, these I know I'm speaking for myself, and I'm hoping that I'm speaking for a lot of you, that if you followed along, that you're getting to a place where you're hiring. I have some great team members that will take a sword and for this company and protect it, like they protect it. And the least we can do is protect them the same thing, right? Maybe have a before this holiday season really gets kicked off, have a sit down with uh your team leads, and get a game plan going, because a lot of clients, and we have to train them, you know, they're just
Clients don't know
crappy
how to behave.
sometimes.
You have to
Yeah, they're just you just crappy, and they're not thinking. They're only thinking of themselves.
all the
That, oh my
time.
gosh, I just got to get past this. I'm doing this. I got to wrap present. I got to host. I got to do this. I got to do that. Just get this for me real quick. Can you see how overwhelmed I am? So you got to kind of keep your employees or your clients trained.
Managed. You have to
Yeah,
make
it does. It takes a little bit of training.
and there's some boundary triggers too.
Yeah. What are they?
There.
What are they? Tell
So
me.
some boundary triggers could be early arrivals, unexpected guests, same day emergencies. And I'm telling you right now, and I've said this in two other podcasts today, don't do last minute cleans over the holidays. You will bite it every single time. Unrealistic expectations. So you do the emergency clean and then they're ungrateful for what you did because they expected you to work so much faster. Because after all, it's just a broom sweep and a wipe, right? How many times have we heard? I'm
If
going to
I,
start a
yes,
t-shirt
I
club that
could
has a
hear it.
quote. After all, it's just a broom sweep and a wipe. What's the big deal?
Ooh, we
And
should
then
get some t-shirts like
post-construction
that.
chaos. This can be challenging, especially if you've never done post-construction. I don't think that you should dabble in post construction in the middle of winter if you've never done it on top of your holiday schedule, unless that's what you do all the time or you have a separate crew that just does post construction. It's too much chaos on your schedule, especially if you're a small teamed business. It adds too much chaos. I would just politely turn it down and refer it to somebody else. Maybe they can give you a referral next time. But having those and early arrivals. Sometimes the schedule, what's really annoying to me, and it still happens to this day, is people run behind. They run behind for one reason or another. Sometimes it's forgivable, sometimes it's not. But when you're running too tight of a margin of time in between things, like what we're doing with this podcast today, things come into the mix and just stir the pot, and you're like, well, I wasn't anticipating that. And so you're having
Yeah,
to overcompensate and autocorrect and autocorrect and autocorrect. And then by the end of the day, you're just pooped out.
right. Yeah, I'm going to tell you, I want to say something. That's why I absolutely love Jobber.
Mhm.
All my cleaning techs have I'm on my way, and we have a 1 hour window because sometimes things do come up.
1 hour window is
Having,
great.
oh my goodness, we have a minimum of 1 hour. And then at that 1 hour, if that situation has not been resolved, of course, I'll step in and
Oh,
call, make sure everything's okay. But they have that ability to say, hey, I am on my way. And then they kind of just time it in their head. They have 5 minutes, 15, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, all the way to 60 minutes to time that. Like, oh, Jamie didn't do this bid right.
right. Well, sometimes things happen,
Done
and
that.
especially my town has grown exponentially in the last 2 years. I mean, we have doubled in size. It's incredible. It used to be 8 minutes from my town to the next. It takes 45 minutes if there's no car accident.
Really?
And it's usually a head-on or a medical because we have a huge senior base here.
Oh, yeah.
So it's giving yourself an hour window. And if your cleaning tech is running behind, that should be standard protocol. Hey, Mrs. Smith, I just want to let you know Melanie is running behind. There's a car accident on Highway 69. I just wanted to give you a heads up. Most of the time, everybody's totally happy. Sometimes they're not, but it's unrealistic to expect someone to show up at the approximate time. Or sometimes they show up early, and that I've had that be an episode a couple of times too, where they showed up 30 minutes early, and I'm like, don't knock on that door until I check.
Yeah, yes. Yes, it
Nothing
totally
like
like,
getting caught in your jammies, have coffee in your hand. I go,
and
oh, God.
hey, can we go early? Wait. No, that is the scheduled time. That
Right.
is the scheduled time.
And there have been exceptions to that. For example, I had a cleaning tech who had to put her dog had a medical emergency and had to be put down, and her husband waited with the dog while she quickly, I was surprised that she still wanted to work. She went over, did the house, and I got a hold of the homeowner and I said, hey, would you mind if Melanie shows up a half hour early today? She has to put her dog down, and I want to make sure your house gets clean. So you have to make it about them. And she was like, yeah, oh my gosh, I'm really sorry, blah, 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 blah. And then it all worked out. But I would not show up early if you could prevent it from happening. If it's an empty house, which is what I love in a lot of metropolitan places, a lot of you guys run from empty house to empty house. So the window of time doesn't really, it does matter. It does correlate, but it's not as like in my area where everybody's home watching you, right? They're like,
Yes.
come on,
Yeah.
wax off. Come
Yes, they
on, wax
do.
off. Or
Yeah.
remember during this is actually a flashback. Remember during COVID where we would shuttle people to one side of the house so that we could clean, and then we'd have to shuttle them over to the other side of the house. I mean, it's funny. It's been 5 years.
Well, we kind of still there. This is post COVID,
Right.
and a lot of people continue to work from home. And there are some people that just do not want nobody in their house without them there. Just beyond me, but and they do. Okay, we're coming in here. So it's always, it's just in a perfect world. I don't want anybody home. Neither does my clean. They do better. It's
They can go
so
faster. They can
it's,
rock out.
it's so fast, so much faster because you are literally like making sure you didn't miss anything. You're trying to move something you gently off the counter so it don't make any noise. Oh,
You can toss your rags everywhere and no one will know.
into the dirty bag rag.
Oh, the bag's over that way. We'll just throw it down the hall or off the stairs. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to do
Yeah,
that
and
feather
it is.
duster thing, right?
Yes, it makes it very difficult. And I love the ones that are like, can we make sure that we schedule this for when we're not home? And it's like, yes, absolutely we can.
I see it
Um,
actually changing over time, but we'll see. I don't care either way. I just want to know so I know which direction to push the flow of my business. But those are some of the triggers for that. And then of course, having your script. So ChatGPT, saying no. We could probably put something on the website of Clean Freaks University. I'll have Stephanie get that all loaded up for the podcast. And I think we have covered. Um, Yeah, I think we've covered all of the boundaries for the holiday season. Again, we love each and every one of you. We would appreciate a 5-star review that tells the algorithm that, hey, we are worthy. And then it shows the podcast to other people, and then other people go, oh my God, Shannon and Jamie,
why didn't we see
or
this
Jamie
before?
and Shannon, or
If
whatever.
you guys listen to this, and then I see a lot of people in the groups talking about the cleaning business life, and I absolutely love it. We love it. We love helping you guys. And then we also love that if you would go to the Structure Scale Profit Cleaning Academy and get on that wait list,
Definitely.
or at least the newsletter, huh?
Right.
That's
You can apply for the newsletter or the get on the email service.
yes.
And it just makes that way you're in touch with Clean Freaks University and you know what's going on or what, if there's a special or not a special or all that other stuff. Um, yeah, I think that's it for this. Holiday boundaries, say
Hap-
no without losing
yeah.
clients. Thanks for
And
joining
happy
us.
holidays.
Happy
Yeah.
holidays. Take care.